Yo, we're back at doing a battery upgrade. I did do it successfully on the Roland P6, so I should be getting about 10 to 12 hours of battery on this. Basically, you gotta pop out the battery, do some soldering, and switch it out. I had sacrificed the S-1 last time. I actually took the stream down because what I was doing was a little crazy. And I was trying to talk too much and explain what I was doing too much and not focusing on actually getting the job done at hand. I also didn't have any helping hands in front of me to work on, so I grabbed those and got those out as well. So, in the background, got some old recordings I did on YouTube under like a playlist called Tape Grain Glitch. Just let that kind of roll in the background. We're going to pop this open, take the battery out. We're going to replace it with this GoBat 533-000-132. This is going to go from about an 850 milliamp hour battery to this, I think it's 3,600, 3,500, somewhere on there. So it's a good, almost 4 times battery size increase. So I'm going to get the P6 out of the way, but yeah, for folks that were watching the stream last time, at the time, I had to have the S1 plugged into the battery. I was able to repair the cable that I munged up, and yeah, we're going to get to it. So, got a soldering iron. It's not powered on yet, but got my soldering iron, got some flux, solder, electrical tape, trusty, I think this is like my Cyber, I think it's like the Cyber 47 or 21 or something, Swiss Army knife. Got plenty of tools on it. Some of the stuff that I did on this Tape Grain Glitch playlist might be a little hard, so if we feel like it's worth skipping around, or if you don't want to listen to something, let me know. But otherwise, we're just going to start methodically kind of getting stuff open here, and I'll explain what I'm doing. But first up, we've got the new battery. It's in a nice little hard case. My guess is it's one of these battery packs like this, where on it's technically, oh, I guess we're buffering. I guess it's like one of these where it's technically exposed. I could probably bend the metal here. I'm not going to do it, but we just need to get this out. And what I'm going to do, and what I did last time, is just cut the end at the longest point here, just so that we have as much exposed wire to work with from the battery. So let's do that first. And my advice is the same as it was last time, which is I wouldn't cut all the wires at the same time. I mean, it's not technically like you're likely to create that much voltage by joining all of these together, but to reduce the chance of that happening, I'm just going to do one at a time. As I said, I'm just doing this to have the longest cable I can. So if I strip it and break the wire, I can strip it again and still have plenty of wire to work with. And I'm not going to strip these right now. We'll do that. We'll strip these a little bit later so that we don't accidentally get them touching each other and have to worry about any electrical problems. Yeah, so we got that done. Now we got to open everything up over here. Just trying to clean up a little as I go along, because this does create a little bit of a mess. Don't need the debris there. Yeah, all the music that's playing right now was as I was building out my modular gear and using the MPC. I don't know, so it was kind of fun. It was a very large set of live performances, so I was just recording everything live. Had a lot of fun doing it. I kind of want to get back into doing that again, not worrying about it like necessarily sounding perfect, but just have something I can play live and kind of work with. Just moving the screws out of the way so I don't knock them over on accident. And for me, I usually kind of put them in a the order they come out, so that when and kind of in a location. So if I want to put them back in, sometimes you'll get screws that are either a different size, or sometimes they're the exact same screw technically, but there's something a little different about them that you want them to go back in the same screw hole, especially when this is basically doing it's kind of like stripping its way into the plastic, or kind of cutting its way into the plastic. Not really, maybe not stripping it. If you over tighten it, you'll strip it. But we're going to get there. Just a few more screws here. The battery on this is completely fine, but it's in here. It's just really small. I tend to, as I'm working, I'm trying to stay away from having too much USB hooked in, because it's just an easy way to get a lot of line noise if you're using USB. If you use it too much, you'll just get that USB ground loop. And the battery that's in here is like an 800 or 850 milliamp hour. So, I mean, honestly, this will get me from probably like a 2-hour maximum to 8 to 10. I know some people have said they got in like 12 hours. So this is really just a straight up upgrade so that I can just go sit around for 3 or 4 hours, leaving the devices on and not having to worry about like, where's the charger or anything else. It's kind of what I've been doing like over the weekends is I'll sit on the couch while watching like some movies or whatever with my wife, and like half paying attention. When you take this apart, the P6 was the same. The front side has a ribbon cable connected here, so just make sure you go slow when you open it up, because you don't want to rip that ribbon cable. You want to make sure you're opening it up. You can see it here. It is like, you can lay it flat. I haven't tried disconnecting it, but I don't see a latch that is easily opened to get this to just pull out cleanly and then put it back in. So I've been a little reluctant to mess with this too much to kind of figure out how to disconnect the cable, and if you push it too tight, it might slip out from the bottom here, which means you have to pull more of this apart to repair that. So definitely be careful working with some of this stuff, because as I said, I didn't figure out how that goes together. Next up, and I guess I can just disconnect the battery. There's like, it's just a little it's a little tiny guy, and you just want to get like behind the clip. I'll get closer in a second once I get this out to show you, but there's like 2 little prongs on the left and right side of it that you can use to pop out pretty easy. And technically I'm not going to need these 2 screws that hold the battery case in, because this new battery is much bigger, and we're going to need to do a little bit of minor destructive work inside the case to get the battery to fit. Main reason I'm actually doing these videos is somebody that dropped a comment in my YouTube channel saying like, hey, can you show how to upgrade the battery? And I was like, whatever, I'll do it. And then the last video is just a bunch of comical errors. So if we zoom in here, if I get it up closer, maybe it's not zooming in, you can see there's like 2 little notches on both sides. You want to grab onto that and pull this out, because if you pull on the wires on the bottom, you're very likely to actually pull them out of this clip holding mechanism. Now, the thing I did wrong last time was I actually pulled them out when I was just kind of talking too much, even though at the beginning of the video I'd said, don't do that. So again, like I just did with the other battery here, instead of going close to the top here, I want this to be as long as possible. So I'm just going to clip one of these wires at a time so I don't like ground it out or create a short. We're just going to cut them. When I did this before, I did pop the battery out, but it's glued in there enough that you might bend the battery, and I don't think you want to do that either. So we're just going to do one at a time. The black one. Oh, I'm going to have to grab my wire cutters in a second. I'm trying to twist it so I have enough to grab onto for the yellow wire. Good enough. And now just the red wire. And if you're wondering, when I solder this together to this here, it's basically just going to line up each of the red, yellow, and black wires to get that to work. So this battery goes away. This case that it has, this little black case, is too small for this battery, so it's not going to fit in there anyway. And these screws or these posts are kind of in the way. So basically, to get this to fit in here, there's like two little, I'll bring it up closer. I'll do this near the end, but there's two little tabs here that really aren't that big. I'm just going to basically snap them off, and then maybe kind of use like a knife or something to kind of grind it down real quick. This will just make it so we have enough space for the battery to fit in here, and it has to lay flat because this board here pops, that's on the very back, pops up about 1/8 of an inch, and this battery won't fit in there otherwise. So I think this is probably about as big a battery as you can get without going like really crazy, making room inside this case. But for the time being, let's close it back up. I'm just gonna put it out of the way, and we're going to start stripping wires. I don't have the best tool for this. Actually, I'm going to do all of them on this because this is the most delicate piece, and I don't want to strip more than one wire at a time on this because I don't want to create a short and then have this thing either get hot or otherwise cause some problems. So just trying to do this in a sane order. So I'm just using the wire stripper to expose all three. We'll tin them just to make it so we have a little bit, it makes it a little easier to join them together and kind of keep it going. There's two. I guess this track I just did was some kind of ambient stuff a while ago. All right, so we've got these all exposed. I'm actually going to turn my soldering iron on now. And while we're doing this, let's get the helping hands in place to grab. Maybe that one can go over here for a moment. We'll do this so that we just kind of grab one point of each wire. All right. Just trying to see how we can kind of bend it around. So we'll do the black one here. And see if we can scoot around for the yellow one. It's a little close. All right. So that should make it a little easy to work with, hopefully. And maybe the angle's a little hard for you guys, but basically I just have each wire pointing up. Let's get this open. Looks like we got enough heat here. Let's get some overhead light going. Let's see, there's our solder. So all I'm just doing is, just, as I said, just tinning the ends here. Then I'll do the same thing one at a time for the ends on the battery. It just makes it easier to join them to get... Ooh, to be careful here. Maybe we'll let this one go for a second so I can get this back over. So I just need this to probably hold the battery for me. We'll see. Let's go black first. So again, as I said, on the battery, I would just strip one wire at a time. This time I'm just gonna tin it right in front of me, down here. All right. Next up. Oh, it's a little big. So I don't want to get stuck having to hold the battery while doing this if I can help it. So if I can line it up so that they're touching, it'd be perfect. All right, we'll just have to, I'm just gonna do it this way. It's with the helping hands, it's still easier. All right. That connection for the black wire looks good. Let's get some electrical tape. I'm gonna tape it off again. We don't want these to accidentally short out, so once I've got each one fused, I'm going to tape it off. That one seems fine. We can now get this helping hand out of the way. Actually, I didn't think about that, did I? I still need to strip these, so I'm going to disconnect it. Get this going. Okay, we're stripped. Let's put this back up. And now we're going to tin the yellow wire. I can already see it, probably a little too much solder on the... There we go. So now we just need to get the yellow wires in place. If we had more, maybe I'll disconnect. Sometimes I've been able to get these to twist together just enough to hold. I don't think I'm going to get it though. Oh well. See if I can line it up. Okay, they are touching. They were touching. see if I can hold it. All right, we're good. Doesn't have to be pretty. And again, just putting, don't want to leave any exposed, let's disconnect that. I don't want to leave any exposed wire. So we're just gonna electrical tape it off. There's better solutions. You can get like some of the shrinking plastic, but I don't have any right now. And I'm not expecting this to get heavy like movement or anything. So last one. Actually, I'm just gonna disconnect the whole thing. Strip the last wire. Let's tin it, and we should, after that, be good to go. Oh, do that first. All right, that's good. And just get this. Replace and try to line these two up. I think we're good. Almost back to putting this together. Come on. And oh, guess we got commercial time. Give me the skip button. YouTube.
In Canada's Northwest Territories, natural diamonds were formed so pure and so real
Skip.
that
There we go. Let's skip to. I haven't listened to Mr. Big in a while. Can I find that? Here we go. Let's do this one. This was a fun one. This was a lot of programming on the MPC and work to set up. I had been working on a modular slash MPC, I don't know, say live performance, and kind of didn't finish. But all right, I'm just taking one more piece of electrical tape just to kind of go around the whole thing, just to kind of hold all the wires together. Now we should be good to, I'm going to turn the soldering iron off, so we should be good to put this back into the S-1 and see if we got power or not. So I'm not going to bother screwing it together yet. All right, also just picking up a little. Little pieces of wire stripped. Okay, we are good. I believe that goes down. All right, we're seated. Now the question is, do we get power? We do. So, for folks that I have for folks that haven't seen this, on Electronauts, folks did say they were getting like 10 to 12 hours of battery life out of this now with this mod. It does also take about the same amount of time to charge, so we do decide to do it. Keep that in mind. I'm just going to disconnect the battery again because I still need to modify the case. And what we need to do first is I'm going to try and grab it with the pliers, see if I can just get the notches off. Just kind of fatiguing them, just wiggle. It gets most of it. It's like literally like this just tiny little tab. It'll save you about a 1/8 inch, maybe a little bit more in clearance if you can get it out. And that's just not quite flat enough. I'm going to take the knife here and just kind of score the top. If you're going to do this, make sure you do it away from yourself. Don't come towards yourself. It's an easy way to cut yourself. And I'm not really trying to put pressure with my hand here going this way because I don't want to close the knife on myself either. But just trying to score it a bit. Get rid of some of that extra plastic. This side's pretty good. Turn it around and get in here on this one. I don't even know if I could do this track that's playing right now, Mr. Big. I don't know if I could do this again. Because, well, I definitely know the part I can't do, because I had 2 modular chains that were almost exactly identical. I'd have to think about how to do some of that stuff. So this is nice and flat here. There's like a little bit of a bump there. Let's just try and get it down as much as we can. I know this isn't the most beautiful way to do this job, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. All right. I don't have any double-sided tape on me either, so I'm just going to use packaging tape, which is kind of silly, but it will hold it in place where it needs to go, which is basically right up against this. There's like a little raised edge here. Maybe you see it here. Right on the edge of this foam, there's like a raised bump. So you just push it up real tight against that. It'll make the clearance for this part of the board that bumps down. And trying to get it back in. There we go. We can put this here. Grab some. Get a little piece of packaging tape. And then kind of put it like here. Just push it down that side. Get it flat. Push it down. It's not moving anywhere. And now, one last power check before we put the screws in. We're good. All right. So, if you're wondering how to do this, this is how you do it, or a way. I would probably advise having grounding strips and things. Not a bad idea to have a fire extinguisher near you just in case you happen to do something that causes the battery to fire up. Or do it outside. Well, for me, it's snowing right now, so you don't want any water in here. Close. And just trying to not over tighten anything. I don't want to strip the screws. But with that kind of a battery change out, it wouldn't be too hard to replace it at this point. I mean, I'm sure you can replace the existing battery. Roland probably sells them, or there might be a site you can go to go buy replacements. But if you need more battery life, this is certainly a workable way to do it. All right, let me pick up and then... Actually, I don't know that I have any more time to kind of goof with this much more. Because I was going to say I can switch over to doing some music, but got to run to doing like my lunch break, and then I got to run to a meeting for work, so... Maybe next time. But if anybody else is out there and you got any quick questions, happy to try and answer anything. Well, I'm close to picking up, but I did not break it, man. It's good. It's done. It works. I actually, after the last one that I was like, oh man, I messed the connector up, I did a little playing around with it, got it back to the connector working, so it was fine. I was sufficiently concerned about what I did to just kind of mess around and play with it, but I didn't do anything terribly wrong to it, so it's good. And the P6, I mean, I was able to use it over the weekend for 6 hours easily, and then another couple hours today, and did not have any... it's still running, so I got at least, I'd say a good 7 or 8 hours on it, maybe more, for the P6, which has been nice, because otherwise I've been in the game of gotta go find the next USB connector around me to figure out how to get it hooked up and running, and then find a noise condition, or yeah, like a line conditioner, so to get rid of any grounding noise, which they work fine, but they do drop your audio a bit. So anyway, I guess I'm gonna drop, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Keep having fun. Keep making music. If you're up for doing mad science experiments with electronics, look me up. I've done all kinds of weird stuff, including laptop screen replacements and other weird things to hopefully not break gear, but you never quite know. But we got two upgraded, battery upgraded devices here, so P6 and S-1 are working just fine. And hopefully we'll stay like that for a while. So, thanks guys. Keep making music, keep having fun. Remember, if it sounds good, it is good. And peace.